ever feel like you're lost in the financial jungle? Like there's a secret playbook or something that like the wealthy are all using and you just can't figure it out.
Right.
That's exactly how I was feeling before we started prepping for this deep dive into Tony Robbins's Money Master the Game.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, it's a pretty big book, right?
it is.
So we wanted to extract the good stuff for our listeners.
Yeah, and what I find so interesting about Robbins' approach,
Hmm.
is that he actually went and interviewed all these financial titans like Ray Dalio and Warren Buffett to get their insights.
Oh, wow. Okay, that alone, I
Yeah.
mean, makes me feel like we're about to really unlock something special here.
Yeah.
But before we get into the billionaire strategies,
Yeah.
what's the overall message? Like, what's the point of this book?
Yeah, it's really about empowerment.
Yeah.
Robbins lays out these 7 steps to achieving financial freedom.
Okay.
And it's not just about accumulating a lot of wealth. It's about taking control and designing a life that you want, a life that reflects your values.
I like that.
Yeah, and he starts by acknowledging that the financial world can feel like a jungle,
Ha.
full of hidden traps and confusing jargon.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Step 1, unmasking the jungle. I remember reading that and thinking like, he gets me.
Yeah.
Like, even when you try to do the right thing, like, invest in mutual funds,
Yeah.
you can still get tripped up by these, like, hidden fees and stuff.
Exactly. And Robbins uses this really startling example.
Okay.
A small, seemingly insignificant 2% annual fee on a mutual fund over 30 years
Wow.
could eat up over half of your potential returns.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's like this slow drain on your wealth without you even realizing it.
It really makes you realize how important it is to understand all this stuff.
Absolutely.
Not just trust the experts and really try to understand what you're actually getting into.
Yeah. Become financially literate, right?
Yeah.
That's why Robbins' step 2, becoming the insider, is so crucial.
Okay.
He argues that you have to understand the rules of the game,
Mhm.
even the ones they don't want you to know, to avoid getting played.
Okay, so we're starting to see through the smoke and mirrors.
Right.
Now what? Where do we go from there?
So step 3 is all about defining your dreams and figuring out their price tag.
Okay.
Robbins emphasizes the importance of getting really clear about what financial freedom means to you.
Okay.
Is it early retirement? Is it starting your own business, traveling the world?
Right.
Whatever it is you need to translate that vision into a concrete number.
I love that the financial freedom number,
Yes.
it's not just some vague idea of, oh, I want to be rich. It's like, okay, how much do I actually need?
Exactly.
So how do you actually calculate that number?
Yeah, so Robbins provides this framework, figuring out your desired monthly expenses and then working backward, taking into account things like potential investment returns and inflation.
Right.
And he stresses that this number isn't set in stone.
Okay.
It can evolve as your life changes and as your goals change.
It's like a financial roadmap or something,
Yeah,
That's actually tailored to you and your journey.
that's a great way to put it.
But even with a clear destination, figuring out the best route can be super overwhelming.
Yeah.
So that's where step 4 comes in, right?
Step 4 is the power of spreading your bets,
Okay.
which is all about asset allocation.
Okay.
Think of it like this. You're a master chef, carefully selecting ingredients for a perfectly balanced dish. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, right?
Right. Classic diversification advice.
Exactly.
But I feel like a lot of people, they hear that and they're like, okay, stocks and bonds, check.
Right.
What are some of the things that people don't think about?
Yeah. What are some of the less obvious asset classes?
Yeah.
So Robbins talks about things like real estate, commodities, and even precious metals.
Interesting.
And he uses this example of a tech stock crash, to illustrate the danger of being too concentrated in one area.
Okay.
So imagine if your whole portfolio was tied up in tech stocks during the dot-com bubble burst.
Ouch. Yeah, diversification is clearly key.
It is.
But even with a diversified portfolio, I think a lot of people, myself included, we struggle with this tension. You want your money to grow,
Yeah.
but you're also terrified of the market crashing.
Right. How do you balance security with growth potential?
Exactly.
That's a really common concern. And it leads us right into step 5, building a safety net that still grows.
Okay.
So Robbins suggests exploring things like annuities and structured investments,
Okay.
which offer a level of guaranteed income or principal protection while still allowing you to participate in some of those market games.
So it's kind of like saying, hey, market, I want a piece of the upside, but I'm not going down with the ship if things go bad.
Exactly.
I like that. But are there any downsides or like trade-offs to consider with those types of investments?
Yeah, that's where working with a knowledgeable financial advisor can be really helpful.
Okay.
Annuities, for example, can have complex fee structures,
Right.
and they may not be suitable for everyone.
Okay.
It's about finding that right balance of risk and reward for you and your goals.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've got our safety net in place and we're starting to feel good.
Yeah.
Now I want those billionaire secrets. Tell me about step 6, tapping into the billionaire mindset. What was the most surprising thing you learned from those interviews with the financial giants?
One of the most fascinating things comes from Ray Dalio,
Okay.
the founder of Bridgewater Associates, one of the largest hedge funds in the world.
Wow.
And he advocates for something called the all-seasons portfolio.
Okay, the all-seasons portfolio.
Yeah, designed to weather any economic storm.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, so it's not about chasing the hottest stock or trying to time the market.
Okay.
It's about building a portfolio that's designed to perform well across different economic cycles.
I see.
So his philosophy is rooted in this idea that economic conditions are cyclical. There are seasons for everything, periods of growth, periods of inflation, periods of recession.
So instead of trying to predict the future, you're basically just preparing for all the different scenarios.
Exactly.
That's smart.
And what's really cool is that his portfolio is not based on some super secret formula or algorithm.
Okay.
It's surprisingly simple.
Okay. I'm ready. What's the secret sauce?
It's a strategic mix of 30% stocks
Okay.
for growth, potential 40% long-term bonds,
Okay.
for stability, 15% intermediate-term bonds
Okay.
to kind of smooth out the volatility, and then 7.5% each of gold and commodities
Interesting.
as hedges against inflation and economic downturns.
That's a pretty diverse mix.
It is.
I never would have thought to include gold and commodities in my portfolio, but it makes sense when you think about it from like an all-weather perspective.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Right. It's about recognizing that different asset classes respond differently to different economic forces.
Right.
And historically, this balanced approach has proven to be pretty resilient,
Wow.
generating decent returns while minimizing risk.
That's amazing. It seems like a lot of these billionaire strategies are less about risky bets and more about like planning.
Absolutely, it's playing the long game.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the final and arguably the most crucial step in Robbins' framework.
Okay.
Step 7, from knowledge to action and generosity.
Okay.
Because even the most brilliant financial plan is useless if you don't actually implement it.
Totally. Knowledge without action is just mental clutter.
It is.
So what are some practical ways to like turn all this info into results?
Well, Robbins stresses the importance of automating your finances.
Okay.
Setting up systems that make saving and investing effortless.
Makes sense.
Think about it. If a certain percentage of your income is automatically going into your investment accounts every month,
Yeah,
you're less likely to spend it.
that's true. You're taking the decision out of it.
Exactly. Your future self will thank you.
Haha.
But even with automation, managing your money can still feel overwhelming.
Sure.
So a great starting point is to just track your spending for a month or two.
Okay.
You might be surprised by where your money is actually going.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, this awareness is the first step to making conscious choices about how you allocate your resources.
It's like shining a light on those little financial leaks,
Right.
that drain your wealth over time.
Exactly. And once you have a handle on your spending, you can start aligning it with your values and goals.
Yeah.
And you know what else Robbins emphasizes in this step?
What's that?
The importance of giving back.
Okay.
Even if you're not a millionaire yet.
Yeah.
He shares this compelling story about someone who committed to donating 10% of their income.
Okay.
And even though they weren't wealthy at the time, this act of generosity actually created this sense of abundance in their life.
That's so interesting. I love that. It's a good reminder that, financial freedom isn't just about like hoarding wealth or whatever.
Yeah.
It's about aligning your money with your values
Absolutely.
and using it to, do good in the world.
Make a positive impact.
Yeah.
And it often comes back to you in unexpected ways.
Really?
Yeah, it's almost like the universe rewards generosity.
Wow. Okay. I'm definitely feeling a shift in mindset already.
Good.
So we've laid the foundation. We've explored some powerful strategies.
Right.
But I have a feeling there's even more to uncover in money. Master the game.
Oh, yeah.
What else does Robbins have in store for us?
Well, in the next part of our deep dive,
Okay.
we're going to explore some advanced techniques that can really accelerate your wealth building journey.
Oh, intrigued. Can't wait to hear more about those.
All right. Welcome back to our deep dive into Tony Robbins' Money, Master the Game.
We've already covered so much, from unmasking those hidden traps to defining our dreams and even getting a glimpse into the minds of billionaires.
Yeah. It's really remarkable how Robbins manages to break down these complex financial concepts into actionable steps.
Right.
It makes it feel like anyone can achieve financial mastery.
I think what really struck me in the last part was that idea of shifting from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset.
Yeah.
It's like reframing your relationship with money. Seeing it as a tool to create positive impact rather than something to just hoard and stress over.
It's so crucial.
Mm-hmm.
And it ties in perfectly with his emphasis on generosity.
Right.
Even before you achieve significant wealth. Giving back can have this ripple effect.
Totally.
Not just for the person you're giving to, but for you as the giver.
Yeah, it's like a mental trick almost,
Right.
Instead of focusing on what you lack, you focus on what you can contribute, and it opens up new possibilities.
Exactly. And that leads us to a really interesting section in the book where Robbins gets into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
I know a lot of our listeners are thinking about starting their own businesses, so
Sure.
this part is especially relevant.
Yes, I'm so curious to hear what he has to say about that.
Yeah.
Because entrepreneurship can feel like a whole different jungle to navigate.
It is. And Robbins doesn't sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
He emphasizes the importance of finding a problem that's actually worth solving,
Okay.
not just chasing after some trendy idea.
Right.
It's about finding a real need in the market, something people will pay money to have solved.
So it's not just about passion, it's about passion plus a viable business opportunity.
Exactly. He encourages people to validate their ideas
Okay.
before going all in.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just assume everyone will love your product.
Yeah.
Get out there and test it. Get
Yeah.
feedback.
Yeah. Do your market research before you build the house.
That's a great way to put it.
Otherwise, you end up with this amazing product that nobody wants.
Right, exactly. And something that really stood out to me in this section
Yeah.
was Robbins' advice on overcoming fear
Oh, yeah.
and self-doubt.
That's a big one because starting a business can be so scary.
It is. You're taking risks.
Putting yourself out there.
Absolutely. And there's always a chance you could fail.
Right. So how do you deal with that fear?
Well, he emphasizes mindset and resilience.
Okay.
Successful entrepreneurs are the ones who can embrace challenges,
Mm-hmm.
learn from their mistakes, and never give up.
So it's not just about having a brilliant idea, it's about having that grit.
Absolutely. The determination to see it through.
Okay.
He also talks about surrounding yourself with a good support system.
Yeah.
Mentors, advisors, other entrepreneurs.
Having a team of financial superheroes.
I love that, each with their own superpowers
Right.
to help you navigate this crazy landscape.
Okay, so we talked about mindset and finding the right problem to solve.
Right.
What about the practical steps of actually launching a business?
Well, Robbins breaks it down, starting with creating a solid business plan. This isn't just about the numbers. It's about articulating your vision, defining your market, outlining your strategies.
It's like a roadmap for your business.
Exactly, a clear path to follow.
Right.
And he also emphasizes starting small,
Okay.
testing your ideas before you invest a ton of money.
Yeah.
He advocates for a lean startup approach.
Right.
Focus on getting your product in front of customers quickly
Okay.
so you can get feedback.
It's about being agile.
Absolutely. Not being stuck with a rigid plan.
Okay.
And something else that I thought was interesting
Yeah.
is his emphasis on building a strong brand.
Okay.
This isn't just about a logo or a slogan.
Mm-hmm.
It's about creating an identity that resonates with your target audience.
So what your business stands for.
Exactly.
The feeling people get when they think about your company.
That's it. And of course, in today's world, having a strong online presence is essential.
Totally. Your website, social media, online reviews, it all matters.
And it all contributes to your brand image.
Right.
So Robbins gives tips on using social media, content marketing, and other online tools.
To reach more people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one thing that really sets Robbins apart
Yeah.
is that he emphasizes creating a business that aligns with your values and your purpose.
I love that it's not just about the money, it's about making a difference.
Precisely. It's about finding that sweet spot,
Okay.
where your passion, your skills, and the needs of the market all come together.
That's the dream.
It is. And when you achieve that, your business becomes more than just a job.
Yeah.
it becomes something that's truly fulfilling.
This is so inspiring. It's more than just a financial book.
Right.
It's like a guide to designing a whole life, you know?
I agree. He weaves together personal development, business strategy, and financial mastery.
So we've explored the entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah.
But what about those who aren't looking to start businesses?
Right.
What other wealth-building strategies does he talk about?
Well, in the next part of our deep dive, we're going to uncover some more advanced techniques that can really accelerate your path to financial freedom.
Ooh, this is getting exciting. I'm ready to level up my financial game. All right, welcome back to our deep dive into money. Master the game.
It's amazing how much we've already uncovered.
Right. Who knew personal finance could be so fascinating?
Yeah, and we're not done yet.
Okay.
We're about to explore some advanced techniques, the kind of strategies that can really supercharge your wealth building.
Okay, I'm all ears. What's the first power move?
So Robbins talks about something called velocity banking.
Velocity banking?
Yeah, and it's a real game changer for people who are serious about getting rid of debt and accelerating their path to financial freedom.
Velocity banking, that sounds intense.
It is. It involves using the equity in your home to pay down debt faster.
Okay.
Think about it, like traditional mortgage payments are designed to keep you paying interest for years.
Right. It feels like you're barely scratching the surface.
Exactly. So velocity banking utilizes a line of credit,
Okay.
typically a HELOC, which stands for Home Equity Line of Credit.
Okay.
And the idea is you make these lump sum payments towards your principal using the ADLOC,
Okay.
and then you replenish the HELOC with your regular income.
So you're basically like slingshotting your money towards the principal faster than a traditional mortgage would allow.
It's a powerful strategy.
That's pretty clever, but it sounds like it requires a lot of discipline.
You're right. Velocity banking isn't for everyone. It involves managing credit responsibly and understanding the risks.
Right.
So if you're considering this, it's really important to work with a financial advisor who understands velocity banking.
Like having an expert guide you through it.
Exactly. They can help you figure out if it's right for you.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So beyond velocity banking, what other advanced techniques does Robbins talk about?
He talks about leverage.
Okay.
And not just in the context of real estate,
Okay.
but leverage in all areas of life.
Interesting.
Time, skills, relationships.
So it's about realizing you don't have to do everything yourself.
Exactly.
You can partner with others, delegate tasks.
Yeah. For example, if you're starting a business,
Okay.
instead of trying to do everything yourself, you can hire a team or outsource certain tasks.
Right. It's like building your dream team.
That's a great way to put it.
Each person brings their own unique skills and talents.
Exactly.
And you can accomplish way more together.
And Robbins emphasizes that leverage goes beyond just outsourcing tasks. It's about recognizing the power of relationships and collaborations.
Makes sense.
Build a network of mentors, advisors, peers.
Like your financial support system.
Yeah, people who can offer guidance, support, and open up new doors for you.
That's so important.
And what's really inspiring is that Robbins goes beyond just the mechanics of wealth building.
Okay.
He talks about the mindset of financial mastery.
Right.
Cultivating an abundance mentality.
So instead of seeing money as this like limited resource,
Exactly.
you start to see the possibilities.
You believe there's enough for everyone.
It's like changing your perspective.
Yeah, it can have a huge impact on your life.
This is making me realize that this book is about so much more than just money.
It is.
It's about growth mindset and really designing a life that you love.
That's a great way to put it. And as we wrap up this deep dive into money, master the game, I think the main takeaway is that financial freedom is achievable. It's not about luck or privilege or some secret formula. It's about knowledge, strategy, and taking action.
And I love how Robbins doesn't just present the information. He motivates you to do something with it.
That's right. And that brings us to our final thought for you today.
Okay.
What is the first step you're going to take on your journey to financial mastery?
That's a great question for our listeners to ponder.
Yeah, it could be reading money, master the game.
Right.
It could be setting up an automated savings plan, or even just talking to a financial advisor.
Whatever it is, take action.
Yeah. The key is to get started.
Thank you for joining us on this incredible deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving to create a life you love.